A Pesky Problem. I was just putting the finishing touches to my rat trap, coughing in the flour dust that coated every surface, when Riff walked in. My spirits plummeted, knowing there was only one reason the bane of my life would be there. "Oh, look, it's little Aldred the rat lover," he jeered, thumbs hooked casually in the pockets of his jerkin. He walked over and kicked my carefully prepared trap. I grit my teeth and prayed for patience. "What do you want, Riff?" I asked somewhat testily as I reset the trap. "Shouldn't you be fixing that wall for Mistress Brunhild? She won't be pleased to find you slacking again." I looked up, unsurprised to see the anger flash across his wide, brutish face. Even the most innocent remarks were enough to set him off. Breathing heavily, he grabbed my hair. "I don't like you, Aldred. You're always thinking you're better than the rest of us. I think it's time someone taught you a lesson." With that, he hauled me to my feet and pressed me against the wall, his hot, stinking breath blasting in my face. As he jostled me, that strange device fell out of my pocket and clattered to the floor. Surprised, he bent for a closer look, still holding his hand tight round my throat. "Well then," he drawled, turning the smooth metal over in his meaty palm. "What is our Aldred up to now, I wonder? Looks mighty suspicious, does this. Might be worth a fortune, it's crafted so well. Who did you steal it from, rat boy?" He flexed his fingers, making me choke, and my eyes bulged as I struggled for air. Reluctantly, he released his grip to let me speak. I leaned over for a moment, gasping and thinking quickly. I knew the device wasn't for the likes of Riff. It was a gift from God, and I wanted to take it to Father Connell for safekeeping. "Look, I'll show you what it does," I promised, knowing he wasn't too bright. With a shrug, he handed it to me. "No tricks," he warned, sneering at my evident fear. Taking a deep breath, I held the object tightly in my hands, then decided to make a run for it. Like my beloved rats, I could be fleet-footed when needed and easily slipped past Riff's protruding stomach. But his large frame belied his speed, and he grabbed the back of my tunic before I could make it to the door. Shouting in fear as he spun me round, I accidentally pressed one of the indentations. "Stop!" I cried. "You're hurting me, you pig!" To my utter surprise, he dropped to his knees and started rooting around the dusty floor, squealing and grunting. I stared at him in astonishment, sure he had lost his mind. Then I looked at the device and began to wonder. Despite my growing fear, curiosity still got the better of me, and I pressed the button again. "Sit still," I commanded, and jumped when Riff immediately sat and crossed his legs, quietly snuffling. I leaned against a sack of flour and wiped away the sweat trickling down my neck. Heart racing, I thought about what this could mean. A device capable of controlling someone's mind was most likely ungodly. I decided to try it once more. "Lie down and roll over," I demanded, hands shaking slightly as I aimed at Riff. "Revenge? Why, the thought never crossed my mind, especially using that accursed tool. What a terrible thing to suggest. Such behaviour is beneath a man of God like myself. I've a good mind not to carry on. Ouch! Your nails are rather sharp. Let go of my arm and I'll finish my tale." Riff fell heavily to one side and began rolling around the floor. Despite myself, I began to chuckle as he turned white in the churning clouds of flour. The giggles died when I saw the look of hatred burning from his small, pale eyes. Somewhat alarmed, I told him to stop and sit quietly. Clearly, that infernal contraption could cause great harm if it fell into the wrong hands. I was even more determined to take it to Father Connell. Using it one last time, I gave my final commands to Riff. "You will forget all about this," I ordered, "and you will never bother me again," I added as an afterthought.